What's up? When we conversate, we're gonna make a way to talk about a location. We're gonna call it Mythika. Alright. We talked about locations of creation. We talked about locations of consumptions. We're going to talk about Mythika. We're not going to talk about if Mythika, we're not yet going to talk about if Mythika is a location of creation or a location of consumption. We're going to talk about necessarily the contents of Mythika. Alright, so many of you know, or may not know, there's this word called Mythika. It's been around for a little, some time, a duration. The first word is myth, M-Y-T-H. Myth means from imagine, from imagination, from imagining. So you got that started. Mythika, a location, a source, like some words, like a majority of the words are locations that we pretty much judge by the outside, by what we can see externally. Okay, they're named by these words that we give to well, the definition we give to these words is based on the outside, but the titles of these words are and the adjectives comes from what they hold inside. Okay, so Mythika would assume that the outside or the inside, because the outside would be considered a location if you're not inside this location. You know what I'm saying? When you're inside the location, you don't consider it to be a location. It's more you're more engaged with what's inside of the location, so you're not really aware, you're not conscious of the location you're at. Just, we don't wake up and ask ourselves where we're at on the world, in life, how we get here. We don't ask ourselves these questions to find out the location. So Mythika is a location of imagining. It's a location of the imagined. Okay, so when you have an idea, or you start to think about something that hasn't been thought about before, or something like that, like certain individuals tap into the energy of Mythika, more so right brain individuals, people that tend not to use logic, or you know what I'm saying, like knowledge and logic is more left brain. Right brain people tap into imagination, feelings, intuitions, I'm saying more so that type of stuff. Mythika is the location of imagination. So things that you can like chimerism. For those that you don't know what chimerism, it's basically what a lot of humans are. You know what I'm saying? we're not going to get into the details of what made a human a chimera, or the definition of chimera based on human interactions and descriptions, definitions. But humans are chimerism based on the food that we eat and what we have went through in our history, our past. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people that's alive, they have been mixed with animal genes. These genes are expressed out inside their life. So you might have somebody with like a smell, or they can smell real good, or they got good eyesight, or they can hear real good, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, they can convince somebody or something like that, something like that. Okay, it's these genes that have been spliced into DNA of humans, have given them their animalistic traits. You know what I'm saying? These animal traits express in a human physical body. You know what I'm saying? It's in the flesh. So you have the functionality, you have the function of an animal playing out, expressed inside of a human being. So basically, if you open your mouth and you bark, you're expressing a dog communication. You know what I'm saying? You're expressing dog communication. Everybody can bark, right? Everybody can emulate a sound, right? So therefore, we are tapped into that source, and this source comes from Mythika. The idea to do this came from Mythika for it to play out in our material world. And it had to be made into an idea before it was actually able to express, for us to engage with it in a material world. So otherwise, you'd just be imagining. If it didn't express inside the physical world, the material world, you'll be in Mythika, engaging with your ideas, what you have imagined, what you have made, what you have created. You know what I'm saying? What have been created, what have been made there. You understand what I'm saying? It's only real because it's been materialized in our world, our world here, that we can engage and gain experiences with, and you know what I'm saying, make it into a material, a matter. You know what I'm saying? Mythika, the location of Mythika, the location of imagining, of the imagine. We have like a way to it and a way out of it, and likewise, you know what I'm saying, they have a way to us and out from our world. Their world more so relies on using what the hell we have for ourselves, but they tend to know how to maneuver and get through our world better than we do, because they take what has been materialized and use what they are and what they have, you know what I'm saying, to take them to and from our world. We have what we have to take us there. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you know what I'm saying, they get considered crazy, they get called weirdos, they get called childish, they get called you know what I'm saying, idealistic, imagining. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of negative annotations on top of being tapping into Mythika, tapping into the location to imagine. Some people gotta use drugs, like drug addicts, like heavy drug users. They start to see things. You know what I'm saying? You can be, you know what I'm saying, even the people that use cannabis, marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get too high and you start imagining shit and you thinking you tripping. You not. You making, you saying, you imagining for real. You bringing something to you. Otherwise, something has brought to you. You have aligned yourself with the frequencies of something that was imagined. You know what I'm saying? Like, the material world is a masterpiece of knowledge, not imagination. It's a world like ours, except it's full of imagine. You know what I'm saying? People who imagine some fucked up shit or some good stuff, and that's where it lives at. So this is where we have this is Mythika technically has created our world. You know what I'm saying? This material, that location has created us. You have somebody, and you have somebody that look like that person, act like that person, move like that person, feel like that person, and nobody knows why. They don't have a clue. It's like they can't imagine why. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some things that you can't imagine, just like it's some things in this material world that you can't do or engage with or experience, because it hasn't been imagined yet. So you have to either find somebody or go through something to imagine, to be able to imagine. You know what I'm saying? Certain people, certain individuals have a way that allows them to stay connected to what they consider the source. Is not what they consider God. Is more so like God's work location. So you believe in God is God's work location. It's his office, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's like the location where God makes stuff at. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff makes stuff for itself. You know what I'm saying? So you have this world here that nobody knows how it got here. So we technically are like been conceived. I won't say it like that. We're not even born yet. Because you can have somebody look like you and never met you, but they feel and live just like you. It's like how you never met somebody, but they look like you, and y'all technically had the same life with small little differences, because those are the differences that got left out of the imagination process. So somebody had imagined something to fill in them holes for you. When we have like schizophrenias and children with imaginary friends and stuff like that, those really aren't not real people. That's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like hallucinations, illusions, out of body experiences, those things are imaginations. You know what I'm saying? Imagination is one thing that this earth requires for it to fucking function. You know what I'm saying? The ability to wake up every day kind of stems from your imagination. You have to know that this place exists. You have to imagine this place to exist for you to come back here every day you wake up. You forget about this place, you won't wake up. So this is what we kind of, you know what I'm saying, we tap into the locations, the location of the imagined, the locations of the imagined, for our day-to-day, you know what I'm saying, happiness. We tap into Mythika location of the imagined for our hope, our peace, our strength, our courage. You know what I'm saying? Things that help us keep going with something, even if it's, you know what I'm saying, not so pleasant. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that tap into Mythika in order for them to keep remaining like depressed, anxious, thinking. You know what I'm saying? Some people make up stuff, like they imagine stuff that hasn't happened yet, and it makes something matter. It makes something materialize. It creates a feeling, a thought, an action. You know what I'm saying? Something initiated, something's will for it to have a action or a feeling to create an action. You know what I'm saying? An action and a feeling to create action kind of go either or. You know what I'm saying? One can come before the other one. That one, it doesn't require, you know what I'm saying, a hierarchy, a numerical numerical hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? It's not one before the other. It kind of like what happens first just happens first. You know, first come, first serve type scenarios with that. Okay. So you have Mythika. It's more so like a I don't want to say like a space, like a galaxy without the stars. It's like a location without material in it. You know what I'm saying? So where you can only imagine it. Like there's locations on this planet you can only engage with through your imagination. Like you can't physically go there. You have to imagine it. You have to tap into yourself to even go there. It's the locations are on the planet. It's here, but you can't walk with your physical feet. You know what I'm saying? This part of the imagination process, they won't allow you to take this with you. Because we are not this physical. We are not this physical, you know what I'm saying, this materialistic stuff. We are not it. We are the imagined ones having a human experience. You know what I'm saying? Some of us came here to have this experience. We had imagined this for ourselves, to have all of this. Some people call your imagine somebody like you as an imagined creation. They call that a soul or a spirit. You know what I'm saying? The inner you. You know what I'm saying? Like the imagined version of you is called a soul, spirit, the inner you, your inner seed, your energy, your breath, you know what I'm saying, your water, your fluid. You know what I'm saying? It's something like that. You know what I'm saying? Something that's interdimensional, multidimensional. But this physical body is stuck in the material in this third dimensional realm. But it can have like an outline, like a shell. This is like a shell, and we have like what's inside. It may like look exactly how you look on the outside, but it's not you on the outside, because you are intangible. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can walk through you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you pass away or something like that, and people see apparitions and they can walk right through the apparition. Well, is that apparition, that spirit, that ghost, whatever you want to call it, are you imagine it there, or is it there? You know what I'm saying? Or did it imagine itself to be there with you because it wanted to? Then this is Some people believe, some might believe in possession. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get somebody can get their body taken over by something that was imagined. Now they're doing things that they wouldn't have imagined by themselves. They live in a way they would never have imagined they could. They saying things they don't even remember they said. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, that consciousness, like your body, your awareness has been hijacked for them to experience that part of your life for themselves, because they want to experience a part of your life. It gets deep. It gets real deep, because there's no imagining is infinite. Okay, this material world is finite, it's finite, it has a limit when it's a material world. This material world is a small location compared to what's out there and what's here. We have to tap into ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Some people get it by music. Some people get it from being exuberated, encumbered, you know what I'm saying, under the influence. That's why a lot of people that's conspiracy theorists and philosophers, they get an idea that this is not the real world. And when you're under like some type of hallucinogens or some type of some psychotropic drugs or medicines or prescriptions, then that's the real world. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, a lot of people have thought that they have lost touch with who they are at that point, for them to ask those type of questions, because they wanted to experience what it would feel like, or what it would be like to forget that they were an imagined, you know what I'm saying, imagine one. We this material world, we all came from somebody's mind, somebody's head. They call it God. You know what I'm saying? We all came from the first one that could imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like the one that could imagine first is what made us, because we are the imaginations of that one. We're not our own, you know what I'm saying? We did not make ourselves. We are not our own creations. So, location of the imagined ones, you know what I'm saying? We have ability to function because the one that we gonna call it, or him or her, or you know what I'm saying, we have yet to imagine, we have yet to even imagine what the first one to imagine could look like, or could act like, or you know what I'm saying, the behavior or the nature, the practical, you know what I'm saying, like the image and the practical, like what's the purpose? We can't imagine that. And this is the fact that, all right, look, for those that you don't believe in the Bible and God and stuff like that, you don't gotta listen. But I'm using this for, you know what I'm saying, for a reference. We have God, right? We have an idea of God, right? So we're gonna personify the idea of God, right? We're gonna imagine God was a person like us, right? Even though that's pretty much fucked up, but it's gonna give us to the next point. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna help carry over. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna help get us to where I'm trying to get us to go. Cause why would somebody with a personified God to be like us when we've been through all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? So first and foremost, don't ever put that shit on nobody for you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna get into the morals, okay? We're not gonna get into the morals and all that stuff. We're gonna simply leave it. God, we're gonna say God was the first one, okay? But God has imagined the devil, Satan, Lucifer. What name you want to imagine it was supposed to have, right? What name you imagine it fit better? You know what I'm saying? They said Lucifer, Satan. We're gonna call it Satan because, you know what I'm saying, Capricorn is what they call me, and that's ruled by Saturn. So we're gonna talk about something that's supposed to be ruling me, right? All right, now matter of fact, we're gonna keep it neutral, right? We're gonna call it Lucifer. All right. Look, they said the story of Lucifer was an angel, right? He was one of the imagined until the ones that he created or that God created, somewhere down the line, somebody started to imagine Lucifer, right? So when you start imagining stuff, guess what? It starts to change. You know what I'm saying? You start to make, you know what I'm saying? You have copies of Lucifer, then you have variations based on if somebody imagined it like the last person imagined it, took that and put their own little stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get into how imagination is made and how different, you know what I'm saying, stuff is, why things have multiples of the same entities like humans. You know what I'm saying? All humans is one person, but we're not going to get into that. I talked about that a little bit on the last video. I may make that into my next video. Alright, so you have Lucifer falling out of heaven. That's the story. Some people say he kicked out. Some people say he left. Or she. Because somebody saying Satan is a man and Lucifer is a woman. So we gonna, you know what I'm saying? They keep imagining stuff. It's all imagining, right? So we gonna say for the sake of video, Lucifer has been, it said, fell out of heaven, because it's just going to help it a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to see what I'm talking about. All right, Lucifer has fell out of heaven. Why has Lucifer fallen out of heaven? Because the imagined one started up thinking about the first imagined one. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere down the line, they couldn't control their imagination, so it pretty much end up, you know what I'm saying, resulting in the birth of what they call the devil and the birth of what the fuck they call chaos. Guess what? Lucifer took the ones that couldn't control their imaginations. Imagination, you know what I'm saying, they call it mindset, mind state, or mindset, is the difference between being poor and the difference between being rich. It's the difference between being in hell and the difference between being in heaven. It's the difference between being free and being a slave. You know what I'm saying? Being enslaved. It's in the mind. So in the mind, what's in the mind? Imagination, processing, knowledge, information. What's information? Something that has been processed for your imagination can compute it. So data is small fragments of information for your brain can process it, and you can start to imagine something from it. You know what I'm saying? This is a system of repetition, and it's controlling your imagination. So you want to think that this earth, this world is hell? You know what I'm saying? You might not be wrong, but you want to think this planet, this world is heaven? You may not be wrong. So at this point, there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, there's somebody out there, and there's a lot of them. Remember, it's not just one of you. It's never just one of you. It's never just one of anybody. You know what I'm saying? So you think you are by yourself and you think you're unique? You're not. There's at least minimally 10,000 people that's like you. You've met some, you haven't met some. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have the same exact life. You know what I'm saying? You're not living, y'all don't have the same behaviors, but it's you. You know what I'm saying? With slight variations to them. So for the most part, y'all the same archetype. You know what I'm saying? This is where angels come in from. Archetype. Right? So you have angels, you have archangels, you have archetypes, which human beings by nature, we all fit the same archetype. That's why they call us humans, Homo sapiens. There's 5 different levels, there's 5 different variations of humans. You know what I'm saying? Humans. That's a lot for a little bit, but we're not going to get into all that details. So by the time we have angels, which came after, angels came after like the angels that we imagine to be real, those came after Satan, because Satan was the first begotten son. You know what I'm saying? Some people say Jesus was, but Jesus may be fucking Lucifer. I keep calling Satan, but it's Lucifer. Alright? For Jesus to have died for our sins, that means Jesus must have been blamed for all of our sins. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna take, if you get locked up, you're not gonna get locked up if you not taking them charges. You're not putting those charges to you. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not saying you did it. They're not gonna lock you up if you didn't say you did it, or they had proof that you did do it. So Jesus had to turn into the devil for us to, you know what I'm saying, for us to live without doing wrong, doing bad, and getting punished for that. That's if you want to believe in that story. Or if you live in that, you know what I'm saying, you're religious like that. So this is how Jesus the story of Jesus came about. Okay, so why did Jesus come down here? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what happens when the imagined ones start to imagine about the previous, like the first imagined ones. You know what I'm saying? The imagined ones start imagining about other imagined ones, because this is what they say in the Bible. If we want to still be on that topic, talk about, you know what I'm saying, this scripture, this literature, you know what I'm saying? This is where you get the phrase, thou shalt not judge. Imagination birth judgment. When you imagine, you judge. What you judging, like how you judging something. You imagine it based on what you already imagine. You comparing something. A lot of times you comparing some shit that you saw before, and because it's not what you saw before, you're not happy. Therefore your mental state, you know what I'm saying, You condemning yourself. You dragging yourself to hell by comparing. It's you condemning yourself to hell by comparing. Comparing was birthed by judgment. Judgment was birthed by imagination. So you're being judged by a family tree. You understand what I'm saying? Like these things, if we was to personify, imagine, no, we can't do that. Like that's too big for imagine. You said we not gonna do that. I'm gonna scratch that. Nope. If you was to personify judgment, if you personify comparison, you know what I'm saying? These would be a family. They would kind of look the same, even though you know they fucking different. This is what I'm talking about. Where things look alike, but they're different. They're the same thing, but they're different. So this is where tapping into Mythika. Honestly, we shouldn't even be talking about this, because I know there's emotionally unstable individuals out there that cannot control their imaginations. But for the sake of being, you know what I'm saying, fruitful and a good Samaritan, and you know what I'm saying, a person that gives knowledge, and with the smidge of hope, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of hope that somebody that watch this stuff won't fucking like imagine some dumb shit because they fucking bitter, or they in the, you know what I'm saying, they focus on a location of consumption. As you start imagining shit, you gonna have to deal with it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you imagine something, nigga, you're creating it. That's your family. You wanna deal with it. You have to feed it. You have to fucking like take care of it. You have to kill it if you don't want it no more. So you have, that's all on you. Then wonder why motherfuckers fighting demons. Demons is made by humans. Demons is your fucking children. It's our children. You know what I'm saying? You look up the word daemon, nigga, it's the son of man. Okay, if you want to be using words to you know what I'm saying, influence or stimulate your imagination, it means the son of man. Your children, your sons, nigga, your sons are demons. It's crazy, right? Because they call us like certain other ones that was imagined from Mythika. Maybe they're not from Mythika. We're all, my philosophy is we're all from Mythika. We end up migrating or being taken from there. Like certain individuals, like being birth had like this location we're at right now, for us to get inside of our mothers, had like a guardian, like people to protect it. Like, yo, imagine the you that was imagined, like the idea version of you, for you to become a sperm cell. Like, if that had like a doorway, like, nigga, you ain't gonna become a sperm cell. You know what I'm saying? Because you would be fucked up for this world. Because somebody imagined you fucked up. Like, we gonna have to send you to another location. Like, nigga, you couldn't even become a fucking sperm cell, bruh. Like, you was an idea, you know what I'm saying? You was thought of, but you didn't get accepted. inside the world, you know what I'm saying, that we are in. Like, if those had like a gate, you know what I'm saying, one of those keepers, one of them guardians, you know what I'm saying, a lot of this world would be regulated. It will be regulated based on that narrative. You know what I'm saying? They would be pushing that way of living based on those behaviors. And you know, if you're a sperm cell, that means you would have to turn in something like a business plan, basically. You know what I'm saying? You have to turn in your business plan if you want to become a sperm cell. Like, this is where your DNA come from. You know what I'm saying? Your genes. Your fucking DNA is your blueprint on what the fuck you gonna do for the rest of your goddamn life. So if you haven't turned in your business plan, nigga, you will not becoming a fucking sperm cell. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't have, it's not too many people that have like otherwise they come out like, you know what I'm saying, special needs, bruh. Now, special needs individuals are necessary, but they don't have all their genes. You know what I'm saying? The DNA reciprocated either by their mother or their father was incomplete. You have to have these two individuals to be your guardian for you to become a child. You understand what I'm saying? For you to become a child. And inside your mother and your father's DNA is how you become a body. Your time from being inside of your mother's womb and when you're being birthed is reduced. You're 9 months old by the time you come outside your mother, but by the time you come out your mother, nigga, you're 0 years old. You're a day old. You have to have your DNA. You are your father's DNA when you inside his fucking nut sacks. You are a living version of your father, waiting to express, waiting to, you know what I'm saying, look different from your father. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, right? Like, your father will have to help you make a business plan while you're inside of his body for him to even bust a nut inside your mother to even birth your ass. So if your father not living right, he's stressed, he fucking too hot, his balls is too fucking hot, nigga, he taking hot showers and shit, you know what I'm saying, using, you know what I'm saying, keeping a cell phone in his fucking pocket, nigga, you not being born healthy. You're not a healthy sperm cells. You might fucking die early if you're a sperm cell. You know what I'm saying? You're not making it to the egg if you're not, you know what I'm saying, you gotta get your father, like, nigga, you gotta get your shit together, fool. So this is where where Mythika takes place, because for you to even be brought here, for you to have a chance to even be a particle, like, it gets deep, because you have to become a fucking particle before you even an atom. You know what I'm saying? You have to be an atom before you even become a molecule, a cell, nigga. Like, you have to be a collection of fucking atoms, of particles, for you to be a molecule. For you to become a cell. So you have to, for you to have a fucking body, Slim, you have to have died. You would have to, in this material world, it gets really fucked up. Like, this is why I say, you know, if you think this world is hell, this world is hell, you might be right. But if you think it's heaven, then you might be right. For you to fucking even become in a human form, you had to had died fucking at least what, from a particle, from an atom to a molecule to a fucking cell to a fucking a tadpole, nigga, a fucking tadpole that they consider a baby, a fucking being. You go from a sperm cell to a tadpole to a fucking being. Now you're developing after 6 months of sitting into a fucking fetus for you to pop out and be like, nigga, I'm not a fetus no more, I'm a newborn baby. Like, get the fuck on somewhere, bro. You gotta, there's so much death just to be here for you to be scared to die. You died already. When you die, where you go? Do you go, you know what I'm saying, to Mythika, or do you believe in some type of heaven? Use your imagination. Your head, they telling people, you know what I'm saying, like the religious folks. I'm not gonna say any religion, because certain things have been stolen, appropriated, everything from certain religions. So we're gonna use, for the sake of Christianity, we're gonna say Christians. You know what I'm saying? Christians have told us to know yourself and to follow the kingdom of God, to know the Lord, the Father, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. They don't fucking tell us what the spirit part about us was, or what our Father is. We know we are our sons. Otherwise, you know your demons are your sons. So are you the Holy Spirit? Would you consider yourself to be the Father if you know you got some demons you fighting? You've been fighting this shit your whole life. So you gotta know which one you are, for you to understand where the fuck you about to go and how to use your fucking brain and your imagination. Because if you fucking think you the Holy Spirit, like, what you doing walking around? You think you know the Father, what the hell you doing not sleep? But if you know you a son, you know you a demon, nigga, we all know we demons out this motherfucker. We all know we ain't perfect, but we are. We came from situations, circumstances where we are perfect. Because the fact that you can use your imagination and make something makes it perfect, period. It's flawless. It's fucking foolproof at that point. You can't fuck up imagining something. You can't. So for those of you that get, you know what I'm saying, like, mad or upset when somebody uses words like religion, guess what? You got Kemet, you got fucking voodoo, you got fucking Taoism, fucking Buddhism. They all tell you, nigga, tap into your fucking, you know what I'm saying, close your eyes and think, nigga. They all tell you that shit. Think, nigga, it's inside your fucking head. Now, I want somebody to tell me why would somebody imagine somebody. Like, why? Like, can you imagine all the dumb shit people be fighting? Like, what they think they're a rebel against? Like, why the fuck would somebody imagine somebody being birthed just to lie to you on how to fucking use your imagination? Like, what the fuck thinks somebody was born to do that? Oh yeah, we're gonna fucking have somebody be birthed just to lie to you about that you can use your imaginations and go other places. You don't even gotta be here, nigga. Wonder why you get high, so you don't gotta be here, nigga. Wonder why you go to sleep and you fucking see shit in your stuff. You wake up sweating and upset or happy and you smiling and shit, you in your sleep. Or you never got fucking sex while you was awake, but you getting endless pussy when you sleep. So who the fuck is lying to you? Nigga, you can real life close your you can so you can real life close your fucking, it don't take nothing, fool. Like, it don't take nothing at all for you to close your eyes and imagine something, nigga. The fuck. Oh my. But this is the life we was imagining that we always would have had. It's crazy, nigga. We live in a, you can either say you're living in a dream world right now, or you living in an imaginary world right now. Cause it's the life you always imagine. Otherwise, somebody imagine you living like this. Now, the image that comes to certain that comes to somebody, you know what I'm saying, based on how they living and they what they have went through during their stages of an imagining will alter, you know what I'm saying? But it won't alter entirely, if that makes sense. Muslims believe in certain things. These things, what I'm talking about are like genies, like jinns, certain things, such as that. You know what I'm saying? We could be, if you want to look at it, you know how like the genie, if you watch the movie with genies and there's a poof when they come out or before they come out, that little poof, that's kind of like what's in the realm, the inside Mythika, you know what I'm saying, the location of the imagined ones. You know what I'm saying? This is the stuff that they around, like little fucking like magic, like the magic particles, like magic molecules, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like a game, like a if you play one of those video games and you had like one of them stages where you had to go to like the underworld or something like that, it's kind of like that, but it won't be considered like an underworld, even though there's things that's what you would consider underworld fucking looking things, but I want to imagine them to be, because that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, with somebody, racism would be considered by somebody if they said, if you look at that thing and think that shit belongs, that something belongs in the underworld, you know what I'm saying? With creatureism, you know what I'm saying? Is that creatureism, nigga? Like, what the fuck would that? What do you call that? You racist against something that you are that, but you don't look like that. Like, what the hell do you call that? You don't even. There's no word for that. Like, it may not even be a word for that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that, what you're trying to be, I'm gonna say racist. You know what I'm saying? What you're trying to be racist to, that's not even a word for that. It's not even, it hasn't even materialized yet. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't even came to the world that we know of right here. For it to even get a name, a label. Nobody thought about the name. They just want to see what it does and what it looked like. Somebody being racist to it. That shit, that's wild. That's crazy. But that's how, that's the way Lucifer was brought down into what they call hell. Because people kept looking at it and judging it. They kept imagining it doing some messed up stuff, or looking some messed up type of way. I'm saying what some people consider haters. You know what I'm saying? Basically, if those of you know the what Lucifer was, most beautiful fucking angel in heaven, would you think Lucifer had haters? And this is why God don't bother Lucifer. They say in the book, in the Bible, they say, though thou without fucking sin shall cast the first stone. And fucking Satan owns the universe, nigga. This universe is this motherfucker, he got fucking what? Well, it's like 12, 11 fucking planets in our universe, in our solar system. The fuck? This motherfucker is saying, this motherfucker Lucifer got fucking planets on planets, like not small. He got small stones, big ass stones. Guy said, nigga, I'ma hold him and you gonna throw these motherfucking big ass rocks at their ass. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Somewhere along the line, Lucifer got more haters. In our lifetime, Lucifer got a lot of haters. Fuck the devil. Fuck the devil. Devil ain't shit. The devil made me do this. The devil made me do that. Like Jesus didn't die for you. Like Jesus wasn't real for you. Of course, you don't gotta believe the story. It's all imagination. Imagine it, nigga. Can you imagine that? So Mythika, location of the imagined ones. Like it gets, you tap into that energy and you can start to imagine stuff. You can imagine a whole new life. You can imagine that, you know what I'm saying, things never had changed. You die and you go to Mythika and you remember this location, you can recreate that shit. That's the most toxic shit I've seen, or I ever could have imagined. Cause Oh my gosh, nigga, this is why people believe in rebirth, because there's motherfuckers that's dying and imagining where the fuck they currently at. Like, they're stuck in their ways to where they can't change what the fuck they imagining. So they wake up, they whatever the fuck waking up is, nigga, they wake up and fucking start imagining some shit every day. The same shit they always been doing. This, some people think this, some people imagine this is a dream, like when you're in a deep sleep and you can control the dream, but I don't think it worked that fast. Like, it don't work like that. Because in a dream, things is more instantaneous. Like, it's more sped up. It's, the speed is increased, but slow down. Imagination, like, you tend to be aware, you be conscious of yourself in Mythika when you start to, like, know yourself and think about yourself. Like, if you was in a room with white light in it, right? All right, no, we're gonna say your bedroom. You in your bedroom, right? And you laying down. You're not even getting up, right? You in your bed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And your eyes closed. You imagine tomorrow. You imagine it tomorrow. And you imagine what you gonna wear. You know what I'm saying? You imagine what the hell you gonna put on tomorrow. Right? Because it's a lot of people that do this every day. Every day they do this. They imagine what the fuck they gonna wear tomorrow. Right? You start living that life today. You live tomorrow today. It's not in the same time. You know what I'm saying? You can't have two yous in one spot at the same time. That's congruent. You know what I'm saying? The same exact version of you cannot exist in the same spot at the same time. The way for that to work is if you have identical twins, but that's not even congruent. That's you. That's a emotion. That's an emotion, expressed emotion of you. Your twin is one you. Two people is one person when you talk about twins. Okay. So I won't even consider that another person or another version of you, because it's you in half. That's you split. It's you torn in two. If you cut somebody with a sword and they walk around with two halves of themselves, nigga, that's not two people. Yeah, man. The location of the imagined ones. You know what I'm saying? This is a location of creation. Mythika, the location of the location of the imagined ones is a location of creation. My last video I talked about locations of creations and locations of consumption. Nobody's teaching these on the, you know what I'm saying, these individuals that's on this that's in this location how to use who the fuck they is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nobody's teaching them how to use the imagination. That's the most what they consider wicked. That's what they consider, you know what I'm saying, is evil. Not using your imagination is evil, but they're not telling you like motherfucking like you know what I'm saying? Like, you using your imagination for motherfucking like malicious intent, nigga. They not gonna tell you that shit not wicked. So in the long run, man, it's why when you have certain thoughts in your head, you know what I'm saying, certain religious people say you gotta ask your God, your creator, you know what I'm saying, your savior, to take the negative thoughts that's out your head. You know what I'm saying? That's what somebody, it gets deeper than what come out your mouth. Because, you know what I'm saying, like some people, grandmas and great grandmas and moms and stuff, tell y'all if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it. But then they tell you, nigga, you're not supposed to be thinking it. You're not supposed to imagining shit. You believe this world is hell, you might be right. You believe this world is, this planet is heaven, you might be right. Let's see.